Most of these tips I wish I knew them when I was much younger, but it's not too late for you to adopt these life lessons. Hi my loves, in today's video I'll be talking about important life advice or tips no one tells women or younger. Because of the urgency of this situation, I won't be doing no intro at all. I'll be jumping right into the video. I am Uju of Ideal Style. If you're new here and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Do click on the subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. One very important tip that is terribly underrated is the fact that a lot of feminine products contain a lot of chemicals that are very hazardous and bad for us. This is really under talked about. There's a word like under talked about. These products are very harmful to us, and when we use them, it increases the risk of having a lot of diseases like cervical cancer, reproductive diseases, breast cancer. I remember there was a time breast cancer was really very popular here in Nigeria, and they started advising us ladies, stop using creams on your breast area, stop doing anything. So a lot of people had to stop. I was not hearing of it as much, so that kind of helped. But then there's actually a lot of things that a lot of people don't talk about, like the pads that we use or the tampons that we use. Some of them contain very toxic things that are very bad for us, and it's not something that is looked into. In fact, these companies producing these products are not necessarily obligated to put up a list of the ingredients they use in these products. So it is very advisable that before you get any feminine product at all, always try to read through the ingredients that was used, down to the ingredients that was used to make the fragrance in it, down to that, because some of them have harmful things. It is wise to go for the organic one. One time I was on Twitter and I saw a girl who was complaining very bitterly that she used this particular pad that was very popular. If you are a Nigerian girl, I'm sure you've used it. I'm not going to mention it, but it is a very popular pad, and she used it, and overnight, the next morning, she woke up and she developed some kind of complications just by using a pad, and she was rushed to the hospital, and she had to even get an expensive operation for that. It really came as a shock to me because I never even knew that this kind of things existed. Honestly, I just saw it recently, about a month ago, and I never even knew that I had to actually take my time to check out the ingredients that in these feminine products that I use. So I feel this is really underrated and it is not talked about. It's just really wise that whenever you're trying to get a feminine product, especially when you're getting a pad or tampon, try to check the ingredients that were used in it and avoid the scented ones because they are kind of harmful to us. The tissue around the cervix area or vagina area is lighter than the normal skin. It absorbs things easily, so you just need to be very cautious of what you use around that area. Any feminine products at all, try to go for organic products if you can. Whenever you use a product and you become allergic to it, if you notice any signs of allergies, then stop immediately so that it doesn't lead to worse issues. No such thing as perfection. Whatever standards that exist was set by someone. No standard fell from heaven. It's just very important for you to know what you really want. You stop making drastic decisions because of external response or external motive. I don't know what to call it, but the truth is that sometimes some people make decisions just because of what people will say or what they think people would. Just a lot of things, but you can actually see a lady and you'll be like, oh my gosh, she has such a nice body, oh my god, her body is so nice, or oh my god, this is just how perfect a human being should be. No, I feel nobody should be perfect, and this is why a lot of people are just so confused with all of these standards, and that is why they end up getting BBL. I'm not trying to say BBL is bad, so kindly don't come for me. I am not against BBL, but what I'm trying to say is that if you want to do BBL, make sure that it is something you really want. Make sure that you are mentally prepared and you're not jumping into it because you feel you want to be like somebody, or you feel you want to do it to get attention from men, or you feel you want to do so that somebody can think you are this or you are that. all of these standards are always changing. I remember a time it was all about lekpa shandy, slim girl, slim fit. Slim body was in vogue and everybody was trying to be slim and slim and slim. And then the time came when everybody wanted to have like a certain shape of ass and big ass or big breasts and all of that. I feel these are actually standards that somebody is setting. They set these standards and everybody wants to rush into it. These standards are definitely going to change. Are you trying to say that whenever these standards change, you go ahead and change with it? That should not be the case, because change is constant. You made this decision not because it's really what you want, and that is bad, because a time might come when you might not want this decision anymore for yourself. When I was a young girl and I was one of the tallest girls in my class and I didn't like it, I was like, okay, why should I be one of the tallest girls in my class? It was an issue for me, and I started checking out ways to be shorter. Can you believe that? A 13-year-old girl surfing the internet trying to find how to be shorter. I even got a tip that if I put on heavy load on my head, then it could repress my growth or make me shorter, and I was actually doing that. I can't believe this. An experience I'll never forget. That's so funny, because right now, thinking back at this, I feel I was really a very, very stupid little girl, because right now there's no way in the world I want to be shorter than how I am. Just perfect. I just love my height so much, and I would never have it any other way. I would never want to be shorter. I'm not trying to shame any short person, no, because I literally have a friend who is my namesake Uju. She's not a very tall girl and she loves her height. She can never imagine being taller. It's just really funny that time will come and your decisions will change, and when you've taken drastic decisions in the past, what would you do now? Because you've already taken the decision. So what would you do when your decisions have changed? Stop trying to change yourself to be somebody else. You are exactly as you should be. You are perfect. Every single thing I'm always trying to do, I keep telling myself that I should be my own standard. I am my own standard, and you should be your own standard. I feel you should not change yourself or bend yourself to be somebody else, because this somebody else might be trying to bend as well. So what's the point? And you're unique, and there's no other person that's just like you. And I promise you, my loves, that there's just somebody who needs you exactly as you are. I mean, that's what the world really needs, the exact you, my love. Another thing that is not well said is that it is difficult, more difficult, not entirely, not for everybody, like I know, but it's more difficult to make and maintain friendship when you get older, when you become an adult. Honestly, when you were young, it's just so easy to meet a child or somebody like you for the first time, and you spark up a conversation over just something very small. You can actually just spark up a conversation by talking about how wicked your parents are, or how tasteless the last meal you had was, or just silly things, or why the color of this ball should be red. Like, just very, very silly things. And it's really so interesting. But when we get older, everybody just talk up in their life. Everybody's literally so busy, and there's always this fear, okay, if I try to make friends with this person, what if this person doesn't want to be friends with me? You know, nobody wants to even like make the move. And I really don't know why. Personally, I'm not someone who actually makes friends so easily, but thinking about it right now that I'm an adult is just really funny. Making friends as an adult is not very easy. If I check out the friends I have currently, my closest friends are mostly friends that I've known for the longest time. And then when we also grow up and there's just so much to do, everybody is just so busy, you don't end up talking to your friends so often. I have friends that I get to talk to probably once a month or even once a month, and that is like over the phone, not even physically, because everybody has traveled, everybody is like in search for what they really want in life. So because you are separated from these friends of yours, there's no communication as much as before. Even though we want to say that okay, there are friends that were not so close, but when we meet up, we get to talk and vibe like before. It's not always the case. Sometimes you get to notice that you are so distant from this person and it feels like you don't know this person anymore, especially if you've not been communicating for a long time. So it feels like you don't know this person anymore, and this person is slowly becoming a stranger, and a lot of things that you'd share on a regular with this person will be so difficult for you to do. So there's this distance, and the more you are distant and the lack of communication, the farther apart you become. It's not only about the distance again, even emotionally you have become distant. And I feel the reason why we don't get to keep our friends so much is because we don't treat friendship as fragile as we treat our romantic relationships. When you have a romantic partner and you guys are having an issue and you're falling apart, you want to do something, you want to go to rehab, you want to talk things out, you want to make things right. But we don't take our female friendship relationships like that, because we don't even want to think about it. Like we just feel it's something casual, like anyhow you just do it, it just gets to be. So you don't probably make out time to go out with your friends or do certain activities with your friends because you are just so busy. And some people, when they even get into a romantic relationship, it is over because they don't even bother to go out on probably girls' nights like they used to, things like that. So we end up treating our friendship, our female friendship, not as fragile, or we don't take it as seriously as we take our romantic relationship. And the truth is that there's something called friendship breakups, and these friendship breakups, if you've never experienced it, is really hot, just as much as the romantic breakup hurts, and sometimes even worse, only that it's not as dramatic. So that is why, I don't know, probably that is why people don't really talk about it. But imagine having a friend that you've known all your life, probably from childhood, and something came up sometime and you guys had to stop being friends. Just imagine how terrible that would feel. Even though some people actually find it so easy, like I kind of have a friend that makes friends so easily. Anywhere she's at, she's making a friend. If she decides to go to Lagos, she knows people that are friends. If she goes to Abuja, she knows people that are her friends. And one time you could just talk about, okay, on my wedding day, this particular persons are going to be on my bridal train, this particular persons are going to be on my friend's train. And I was like, oh my god, who are those that are even going to be on my bridal train? And I even got to realize that, oh, I've not been making friends, so who the hell will be in my bridal train? But then that's how it is when you become an adult. It gets much difficult to make friends because of certain situations. Easy for some people, but for most people it's not. So for you to get this, you have to put extra effort to make new friends that you can love and trust. You are not being clingy, annoying when you ask for what you really want in a relationship or even in friendship. It took me time to know this because I'm always trying to avoid being clingy. This is so bad because whenever you are in a relationship, no matter what kind of relationship, and it's not properly defined, especially if it's a romantic relationship, if it's not properly defined, you are going to hurt yourself, and you're going to hurt yourself very bad. If this person cannot treat you the way you really want, then this person is not for you. I'm not saying hold unattainable standards. As long as you know you're not comfortable with something in a relationship, then go ahead and say it. And if you can't get it, then why are you still there? Because you can't even be happy in it. You end up hurting yourself very, very badly. Always try to define what you're doing, because there's a whole lot of emptiness that comes from casual intimacy, and this is not well talked about. Sometimes you can just see it all over the internet, how how casual intimacy is just displayed. I'm not trying to shame anybody here at all, but the truth is that they show you what they want you to see. They don't show you the aftermath of what this casual intimacy results from, the whole emptiness that comes from it. They don't tell you all of that. So it's always nice to respect yourself to the point of defining what you really want before going into it or while you are in it. Not let societal pressure get to you. Now, there's always a lot of pressure on women. Well, of course, there are also pressure on the men, but then for the women, there's just a lot of people that want to tell you how to be a woman. And there's just a lot of women who really want to achieve or get to a certain stage in their life, but they are scared. They hold themselves back and they don't go all the way to get what they want, simply because they don't want to be seen as arrogant or too forward or masculine and all of that. There's something about think like a man, act like a woman thingy. I don't think you should actually limit yourself because of what people will say, because what people will say is not what's going to put food on your table. If you begin to think about that, then you are going to limit yourself and you just remain stagnant and not get to what you really want. There's also all of this other pressure. They want to tell you when to do certain things in life, probably things like when to get married, when to start having kids and all of that. Apart from society, we also want to put certain pressures on ourselves that is not even necessary. Every single woman's life should not go the same way, and every single woman is unique depending on the society you live in, especially if you live in a small town or if you live in Nigeria like me. There's just a whole lot of people that want to tell you what time in your life you are supposed to be this, what time in your life you're supposed to be that, because you are in it. Whenever you are in a society or you are in a particular place, you begin to be what it is. You begin to align with what that society is, and we slowly begin to put this pressure on ourselves as well. There's this part of setting goals for yourself or wanting to get to a particular place in life, and there's also a part where you need to relax and take your time, because you shouldn't be forced to jump into something you don't want to do, because if you make a mistake, you are the only one who will be stuck in it. There are sometimes this pressure can actually come from our family members and all of that. Well, in that situation, it is a very different case, because this pressure is coming from a place of love. Maybe they are telling us that we should do this or we should do that because they care about us and they think that that's what's best for us, but we know what is best for us. I feel we should not try to look at other people or compare ourselves with other people, because we should always take our time in making these critical life changing decisions. There are certain decisions that if you make and it turns out bad, it turns out really bad. Imagine marrying the wrong person. I feel that would be a terrible decision, and it is even better to remain single. So I feel we should not take this societal pressure to heart. A lot of people want to tell us what to do. This is not even as a result of loving us. This could even be people that don't even care about you. It's just as a result of a reflection of who they really are. And like they will always say, if there's somebody you cannot take advice from them, then don't take criticism from them. Don't put your life to a stop because you are not where you want to be. If you are not yet where you want to be, take your time, and every single thing, like they say, one step at a time and a day at a time. Take your time to get to it, and while at that, always remember to live, because if you always want to wait to get to a particular stage in life before you start to live, you might wake up one day and you are 60. One random tip, I feel this might actually be something I talked about, and this tip actually goes for both male and female. Take care of your skin, please. Wear sunscreen. It hurts me that I did not even learn about this on time. So if I think about how I've hurt my skin in the past, how badly I've hurt my skin in the past, it pains me. If you don't want to be 40 and have wrinkles, so a lot of people are 40 and they still look 20 something, and this is as a result of what they did in the past. You are going to see the results of your bad habits much later in the future. So by then you can't actually go back to the past and change it. So you reduce the risk of having skin cancer just by wearing sunscreen and taking care of your skin. Take care of your eye. This one is not talked about so much. There's this disease that comes with older people. I can't remember, but I'll put it up in the screen. You reduce the probability of getting this disease by taking care of your eyes when you're younger. Regular medical eye checks when you are younger. It will help you in the future. I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself. I am still in my 20s, and most of these tips I wish I actually knew. Maybe not all of them, but most of these tips I wish I actually knew them when I was much younger, like probably when I was a teenager or something. And I feel it would have helped, but it's still not too late for you to adopt any of these important life lessons. And if you have any life lessons that are very under talked about that I didn't mention, feel free to let us know in the comment section down below. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, like, leave me a comment in the comment section. I'll be sure to reply, and I'll see you in my next. Bye. But she's so sweet, she's so pretty.